The Force is with you, young Skywalker. You are not a Jedi yet.
Hey, what is up, YouTube fam? It's Dupree, aka Darth Hater, here with another reaction. This one's into Collider's interview with JJ Abrams, reflecting on Star Wars and when it's critical to. This one is JJ Abrams on developing the sequel trilogy. This one's from Collider. I guess they interviewed him a little while ago and see what his thoughts are. I've been hearing a lot about his comments, and I just had to finally see this for myself. So let's see what he has to say.
One of the things I liked about the Star Wars franchise that you guys did was that the creative handoff between you and Rian Johnson, which I felt, it was letting filmmakers take their own stories and take the story where they wanted to go, and I felt that played out in a really interesting way. But I know not everyone feels that way, and I'm curious for you, as the person who helped get that foundation off the ground and also concluded it, do you feel like that trilogy would have benefited from planning out a very strict 3-movie story from the very beginning?
Yes.
Or do you enjoy that kind of creative freedom to kind of take the characters different ways and kind of see how it goes?
I've been involved in a number of projects that have been, in most cases, series that have ideas that begin the thing where you feel like you know where it's going to go, and then sometimes it's an actor who comes in, other times it's a relationship that as it's written doesn't quite work, and things that you think are going to just be so well received just crash and burn, and other things that you think like, oh, that's a little small moment, that's a 1-episode character, suddenly become a hugely important part of the story. And I feel like what I've learned as a lesson a few times now, and it's something that especially in this pandemic year, working with writers, the lesson is that you have to plan things the best you can, and you always need to be able to respond to the unexpected, and the unexpected can come in all sorts of forms. And I do think that
Carry passing,
there's nothing more important than knowing where you're going. And there are projects that I've worked on where we had some ideas, but we hadn't worked through them enough. We had sometimes we had some ideas, but then we weren't allowed to do them the way we wanted to. I've had all sorts of situations where, you plan things in a certain way, and you suddenly find yourself doing something that's 180 degrees different. And then sometimes it works really well, and you feel like, wow, that really came together. And other times you think, oh my God, I can't believe this is where we are. And sometimes when it's not working out, it's because it's what you planned. And other times when it's not working out, it's because it didn't. It's like you never really know. But having a plan, I have learned in some cases the hard way, is the most critical thing, because otherwise you don't know what you're setting up. You don't know what you're what to emphasize, because if you don't know the inevitable of the story, you're just as good as your last sequence or effect or joke or whatever, but you want to be leading to something inevitable.
Interesting, very interesting. Man, I see what he's saying, but I'm a little conflicted because I remember those talks before this movie came out when he wasn't even okay. Setting the record straight, the interviewer asked him if he really thought like that it was best to have a plan going in, or like a strict plan, or just wing it. He says they didn't have a plan, or whatever. Basically says they didn't have a plan, but there was a plan. There was a full drawn out plan. Freaking George Lucas literally wrote episode 7 and then had the story treatments and was working with Michael Arndt. Like Michael Arndt, if you guys don't know, was a writer. He actually wrote I believe Toy Story 3, a few other really good movies, but they had a kind of falling out. I can't remember if that was before Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney or after, but I remember he was attached, and there was a story treatment, and then obviously Disney decided to do away with George's treatment and do their own thing because of fear of the prequels. But it's like, from what I remember, from what I know, Larry Kasdan actually wrote with JJ, and they actually did write story treatments for 7 and 8 and 9, and it was a thing. It was set in stone, and then they decided to do what they did. I'm not hating. I don't hate the sequel trilogy. I don't love everything about it, but I don't hate it. I do really like those movies and enjoy them. And I've let you guys know. I'm honest about it. Like, I'm not faking it just to appease and appeal to, like, all you guys. I don't need to do that. I'm pretty honest with how I feel about, like, Star Wars movies, and I likes and I don't likes. Like, I love Episode 7. I love that movie. Is it what I really 100% wanted? No. Is it what I needed at the time? And still, yes. Episode 8, it was a lot that kind of didn't sit with me well about that movie. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I like it? Same thing with Episode 9. Episode 9, I enjoyed it. Like, I had fun with that movie. Did I really, really like it? Like, as the ending of a 9-part series that's 40 plus years going. But like I said, there was a story. And I always believe that when a director starts a story, he should finish it. George, actually wrote and directed the first Star Wars movie. He wrote and, was on set for Empire. And same thing with Return to Jedi. Actually, he half directed that movie. But at the same time, there was always a plan, and minus bits and pieces, but there was always like a beginning, a middle, and an end. Same thing with the prequels. Like, there was always a beginning, a middle, and end, but at the same time, it's like those are prequels, so you had to. It's like there were new characters introduced. It was supposed to be about, basically the passing off of the torch, which it kind of did in a sense, but I feel like maybe they relied too much on, all right, we'll do something new and we'll let JJ basically do what he wants, which he kind of like, took, copied and pasted, or took a lot of inspiration from A New Hope, made it his own. But it had been at the time 15 years since the last Star Wars movie, since episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So like I said, I think Episode 7 was great. I just wish they had stuck with like the plan to actually either let JJ do the rest of these movies, or stuck with the plan that they had originally sent. Because you hear stories from Daisy Ridley, finding out and basically saying like, there was no plan. And same thing with John Boyega and a lot of other actors. And it's just, it's, you wonder and you wish, it could have been different. You wish it could have been different. And you wonder like what it would have been like if, the cards had lined up and they'd stuck with the story and it all made sense. And there was like, a real story arc. Will these movies that sit higher? Who knows? Probably, maybe. I think so. In a lot of people's lists, but who knows? These movies came out. We got what we got, and eventually gonna do episode 10, 11, 12. They said that some years ago. I don't know if you're still going through with it. Obviously, it's not going to be a Skywalker saga. It could be somehow. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Only time can tell. But as for now, what keeps me happy as a Star Wars fan is obviously the spin-off movies, the TV shows. It's just going to get better, especially with, you know, a lot of the fan reception that Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy and everybody's been getting. It's like, all right, we know what works, what doesn't work. Sad to say it took a little long, but, you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. We have people like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni at the helm, so I keep my trust in their fully capable hands, and I hope like nothing like what happened with JJ, you know, happens again, and we can go forward with a clean slate and, you know, get some awesome Star Wars content, which we desperately need. Anyway, guys, these have been my thoughts on this. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think that there really was a story? Do you think he's leaving things out? Do you think there was no story? What do you guys think? Like I said, I personally know, like, there was a treatment, and I would have wanted to see what George would have started. You know what? George should have just directed episode 7 and then handed it off. That way, they would have been stuck to like direct, you know, and kind of do what he wanted to do following that. But anyway, these have been my thoughts on this. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you didn't like this video, hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you be so kind as to hit that bell to get notifications for my latest videos, that would be great. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching us. Take care. See you in the next one. May the Force be with you. Bye.